So how do we grow the company with zero budget? Okay, it's a kind of a concept which I got inspired from the zero budget agriculture, which is being promoted by permaculture people, which basically means like avoid anything which is coming into the farm and try to use as much as resources possible within the farm. So we are also going to do the same. So for example, most of the expense of any tech-driven company is primarily on software, hardware and salaries. Software is becoming extremely cheap by using open source software. Hardware also, by putting things on the cloud, we can control it and make it completely into an operational expense. Salary also we control because primarily the development team is very small. We also use a lot of students and interns who do projects. So we have split up the entire eFarms development into small projects which can be easily done in 6 months to a couple of months, which is typically what a student goes through. And also, since on a social basis as well, we provide employment opportunities to differently able people whose expectations are not exactly that sky high like a typical programmer are. Basically, they're more looking at stability and long-term things. And coming finally to sales and marketing and reach, because ultimately, how do you now scale this concept to across India? For example, if there's a remote village somewhere in the middle of Rajasthan, how do I sit in Chennai and sign them and do training, which is very similar to what you are doing right now, because that is exactly why we are capturing all the information in videos. It can be easily translated to local languages. We can sit here and over Skype or Google Talk or various tools, we can do web conferencing with people, and we can remotely train a lot of our franchisees and local sales team, which brings down a lot of the need to travel, which is again a very big expense. Marketing is where we have to use a lot of innovation. Okay, so for example, this same tool, what I'm talking to you, has very interesting features. Okay, a lot of people who thought eFarm is over, I would like to say, picture abhi baki hai. In fact, to make it more interesting, I would say picture तो अभी शुरू भी नहीं हुआ है. अभी तक जो भी आप देख रहे थे वो तो सिर्फ ट्रेलर था. मेन पिक्चर अभी 2-3 महीने के बाद ही शुरू होगा. So, for example, nowadays softwares are so cheap and very interesting effects are available. Like for example, I could be in London wearing a Toby hat, and the same camera just puts it up somewhere, or I could be in Times Square launching our New York edition of eFarm Direct, and a lot of cool little things. And while somebody is printing a brochure of ours, or hello world people and welcome to WeWorld, and we could do a lot of fancy things. And of course, coming back to where we were, so marketing is finally left to the concept and creativity. So making a small video and making it viral and getting people to start hitting the site and propagating the idea, you don't need $1 million for that. You can do it very simply with some basic software which can be done even on a PC. So that way I'm very confident that and second, most importantly, marketing is required only if you're trying to force an idea which a user actually doesn't want. Here is we are working in a sector which is very desperately looking for a marketing solution, which is desperately in need for a service like this. Almost everybody whom you talk to who are in the agri industry will say that this is a very key aspect of it. So the minute people get to know, I'm pretty sure word of mouth itself will spread. And so the service which we are doing, we are keeping the pricing very, very nominal, and we have different slabs, which is going to make it interesting for both the small and the large players. And so that way, and we are also constantly going to keep innovating, because it's not that we are stuck with one product. A lot of aspects of the product where we're going to keep expanding as we move along. And that way we are going to be on firm footing. So that way, whatever money we make, we are going to put a percentage back into new growth areas. At the same time, we're going to take care of existing expenses, which are predominantly going to be more OPEX oriented going forward, since we don't have any physical infrastructures and all to take care of. So that I'm very confident will make it as a zero budget kind of company where we can keep running as long as we want in a very tight ship. And so later on, once we do get to a stage where equity or something is required for a much larger expansion, we can cross the bridge when we actually get there.